Okay, I pledge my head to clear thinking,
my heart to cheer the Lord service, my health to be better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world.
awesome, thank you guys. And after that, just make sure everyone's muted because my internet connection is not the best. I would like to also recognize the hard work of everyone at the extension office. That's Tammy Agers, Todd Hagenboo, Libby Christensen, and Jessica Quigley have all put a lot of effort into this year to make it just as good as the past years, even during COVID. So thank you guys. Now I'll introduce you guys to the rest of the officer team. As I mentioned, I'm Dylan Spitzley. I'm the president. And our vice president is Jess Steele, and our secretary is Kayla Rossi. Moving on, our treasurer is JC May, and our reporter is Sophie Deal. And then our senators are Leah Allen and Leona Thurston, and our alternate senator this year was Justin Hyde. I would also like to take a moment to introduce the 2020 to 21 Routt County Fair Royalty Court. The queen this year is Leah Allen, and the attendant is Morgan Yiser. And I'd like to invite Leah Allen to unmute. She wanted to say a couple words about the program.
Hi everyone, my name is Leah, and like Dylan said, I'm the Routt County Fair Queen for 2021. I'm so excited that Morgan and I will get to represent you guys across the state and to all sorts of different fairs and rodeos. If you guys ever need anything, we are always here and would like to talk to you. And if you see anything you want us to be doing better to represent you and all you have done, we would be so grateful to hear from you. I hope you all have a wonderful night and have a great fair week or fair year.
Thank you, Leah. Okay, next I want to introduce this year's junior leaders. This is a group of senior members who meet monthly to improve their leadership skills and are ambassadors to the 4-H program. So this year's junior leaders are Leah Allen, Skylar Kaysen, Jess Deal, Sophie Deal, Justin Hyde, Matt Knutson, Kyle Lancaster, JC May, Josie Myring, Emmett Myring, Cash Myring, Lauren Parks, Kayla Rossi, Dylan Spitzley, Rachel Spitzley, Chris Stone, Leona Thurston, and Bowden Tuminello. Thank you, junior leaders. Annually, we award our members and leaders through their years of membership as a way to recognize hard work and efforts. We'll start with our Clover Buds who are the ages of 5 to 7. The Clover Bud program is non-competitive and is a great way to start youth wanting to join 4-H in the future. This year's Clover Buds were Branson, Wyatt, Jonathan, Apollini, Lila, Bess, Lily, and Lucy. Now I would like to list all the first year members. I'm not going to say your guys' last names because we do have a lot tonight and I'd like to get through it somewhat quickly. But the first year members are Alexandra, Maisie, Abraham, Annika, Fisher, Micah, Braley, Shaylin, Coy, Finley, Griffin, Jackson, Shane, Cutter, Carson, Benny, Samantha, Carson, Caitlin, Kale, Jacob, Alexis, Charlie, Carline, Nevela, Finn, Levi, Ian, Jessica, Kelby, Shane, Lander, Macy, Annabelle, Logan, Drew, Thallow, Damian, Emily, Jet, Austin, Shea, Hadley, Oliver, Simon, Emerson, Franca, Tucker, Emilio, Angelina, Callie, Chloe, Trey, and Haley. So congratulations on your guys' first year. Next, I'll move on into our 5th year members. Those are Peyton Baker, Jessica Bedell, Cheyenne Costner, Braden Cushings Baker, Logan Drogas, Grace George, Jack George, Cecilia Gregory, Bridget Hazlett, Mia Jenkins, Braden Jenrich, Jeremy Klein, Shane Lambert, Cole Moon, Eli Moon, Ashton Nagel, Aaliyah Tabenkamp, Maverick Via Naughton, Sawyer Via Naughton, Lloyd Warren, Madeline Rarouch, Eric Yiser, and Lucas Anamanachek. Also, I apologize for butchering some of your guys' names. It is not my talent. Now I would like to congratulate our 8th year members. Those receiving the 8th year membership award are Leah Allen, Katarina Barnes, Leah Caruth, Gracie Day, Jessica Deal, Sophia Deal, Cameron Dines, Morgan Graham, Taylor Graham, Haley Hockaday, Emily Howe, Brittany Iacovetto, Colt Larkin, Caroline McLaughlin, Haley Minnick, Peyton Parker, Nora Petrus, Emmy Ramirez, Kayla Rossi, Lacey Sherrod, Dylan Spitzley, Lorraine Whaley, Tinsley Wilkinson, and William Iaconello. Okay, and moving on, our 10th year membership awards go to Alexandra Camaletti, Jack Colfer, Chase Delmater, Bailey Iacovetto, Gregory Rubablanca, and Leona Thurston. And finally, the members receiving an 11th year membership award are Cosette McLaughlin, Caitlin Olinger, and Kayla Willie. Congratulations, guys. So the success of 4-H would not be possible without the dedication and efforts of our amazing volunteer 4-H leaders. They're the backbone of 4-H, and they've been serving in our 9 community clubs all year and other numerous projects. At this time, we would like to honor and recognize our club leaders. The club leaders for Fair Play are Krista Monger and Amanda Coley. The club leaders for High Point are Catherine George and Jen Bedell. The club leaders for Flat Top are Jeannie Jo Logan and Megan Rossi. The club leaders for High Valley are Julie Rubablanca and Wendy Paleo. The club leaders for Handy Lads and Lassies are Shiloh Whaley and Raylene Olinger. The club leaders for the Elk River Wranglers are Libby Myring and Becky Hyde. For Ranch House, there are Kristen Cordova and Shannon Valora. Oh, sorry. And Lisa Long. The club leaders for Southside are Susan Colfer, Susie Wilkinson, and Sandy Fallon. And finally, the club leaders for the Good Times are Medora Franklet, Connie Hahn, and Giovanni Caruth. Now we will move on into club reports, and I believe, Libby, you are going to lead that.
Good evening. We're Elk River Wranglers 4-H Club. I'm Bowden Tumanello, President.
I'm Andrew Myring, Vice President.
I'm Justin Hyde, Treasurer. This is a short recap of what we did this year in 4-H.
We had members attend CLC Leadership Conference in November.
Some of our members were a part of Junior Leaders this year.
We made Christmas baskets for our senior citizens and our community members.
Some Elk River Wranglers members attended and showed at the National Western Stock Show.
Some members attended LDC in January.
We had our annual Elk River Wranglers sledding party.
And then came COVID.
We made signs and wrote letters supporting our military and COVID frontlines workers.
Some members made masks for those in the community.
Some members cleaned up trash along the highway.
We had members attend district retreat in Glenwood.
Some Elk River Wranglers members participated in online judging contests.
Elk River Wranglers had lots of members participate in exhibit day.
Some club members participated in shooting sports.
This year at Fair, we showed goats, pigs, horses, and cattle.
Members of our club participated in 4-H roping.
Many members participated in the virtual livestock sale.
To sum it up, 2020 was not what we planned. We missed time with our friends and 4-H activities.
Thank
you.
My name is Kayla Rossi, and I'm the president of the Flat Top 4-H Club this year. Due to the COVID-19 restrictions that we had, we weren't allowed to meet in person, but we did have our monthly Zoom meetings. This year, my projects included market swine, market lambs, breeding beef, and breeding sheep.
My name is Alex Colby. I'm the vice president of the Flat Top 4-H Club, and this year my project was market goats.
I'm Emily Rossi. I'm the secretary of the Flat Top 4-H Club. and this year I showed breeding beef, breeding sheep and market swine.
I'm Mia Cranwell, and I'm the club photographer, and I did market swine and poultry.
I'm Cody Logan, and I showed market steer.
My name is Luke Duxa, and I showed market beef this year.
My name is Dash Duxa, and I showed market beef this year.
My name is Emmy Ramirez. I showed market beef, market sheep, and breeding sheep.
And we also had Shane, Griffin, Finley, and Jackson Good, who all showed market swine as well.
There was Micah Cranwell, and she did market swine and chicken.
We also had Landon Gray, who is the treasurer for our club, and he does shooting sports.
Thank you for allowing us to talk about our Flat Top 4-H Club this year, and we hope that you guys had a great 4-H year as well as we did.
Hi, my name is Lorraine Whaley, and I'm part of the Handy Lads and Lassies 4-H Club. Our club is community service based, so we do a lot of it. At Christmas, we decorated a Christmas tree and interacted and played music with the seniors at the Oak Creek Senior Center. For Valentine's and Easter, we did letters and picked a senior close to us. We planted flowers at the Yampa Church in the Peaburg Park in our quarantine families. Several families picked up trash, and we tried to build our team as much as possible. Yet, we're looking forward to the next year.
Go.
Oh, Ranch House 4-H Club this year has not been able to do as much things as we would like to because of COVID and everything, but we did make St. Patrick's Day centerpieces for the Haven, and we also helped set up and clean up for a funeral for a West Routt firefighter, and we also helped with the pig waters at Fair and cleaning out the Rebecca Lodge and filling a U-Haul trailer for them. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Matt Knudsen, and I'm the president of Southside 4-H Club. This year, I'm really proud of our club members. They were very resilient in our change of schedules with meetings and such. This year, we decorated kindness rocks, and some of our participants decorated the windows at Casey's Pond for residents so they could be cheered up. We cleaned the core trail, obviously while we could still be together. We did some bell ringing. And I think that's about it.
And I apologize, I have the High Point film, but I don't have any video for it, so I just have audio, but I'll share that.
All right. The High Point 4-H Club had a very busy year in the 2019-2020 4-H year. Even with the COVID-19 shutdowns really affecting our end of the year, we still managed to finish strong, support our community, and make the best better. With 31 members, there is never a dull moment. In October, we started off the year by decorating pumpkins at Marabou Ranch.
In November of 2019, we donated a family fun night themed basket for the 4-H Scholarship Fund.
In November of 2019, we decorated a Christmas tree for the Tread of Pioneers fundraiser event.
In February, we went skiing at Howelson.
In April, we did not have a meeting due to COVID-19.
Even though Exhibit Day looked a little bit different this year, we still had a ton of fun doing it virtually, and a lot of members in our club did really well.
In July, we went to the George's house to do a drive-by record book check.
Dog training, we had more than 3 trainers. It was really crazy.
Even though in August, fair was very weird and different this year with no spectators, the club did exceptionally well. At fair.
In September, we played a scavenger hunt and did a lot of Kahoot games. Virtually.
And then the last one we have is a PowerPoint from Fairplay. So we'll have Leah Allen talk us through what Fairplay did this year.
So I'm Leah, and I'm also the vice president for the Fairplay Club. And this year wasn't quite like we expected, but despite that, we all had lots of fun, and we were able to work on our projects really well. We all had lots of different projects, from roping, like you see here, and showing steers. I showed my market animals and became queen. Lloyd was lucky enough that he was able to show steers and participate in shooting sports. Olivia did as well. We had people showing lots of pigs and horses, and we had members showing goats and sheep as well. This year was so much fun, and everyone worked really hard in their projects, and it was amazing to watch everyone as they grew as a better 4-H member and as a better leader in our community.
Back to you, Dylan.
Okay, awesome. Let me see if I can get my screen back up. Okay, thank you to all the clubs for putting that together. Oops. Okay, now I would like to recognize our 4-H volunteer leaders. So our first year leaders this year were Danielle Anrich Thomas, Jessica Baker, Jordan Cranwell, Amber Elliott, Tiffany Gates, Sean Lau, Joseph Taggart, and Lacey Trout. Moving on, our 5th year leaders were Barb Fick, Connie Hahn, Renee May, Spike Myring, Krista Monger, Darren Vietanen, Justin Warren, and Jalen Whaley. Our 15-year leaders were Rod Olinger and Kathy Yeiser. And then our 20th year leader was Sherry Yeager. So every year we honor a business for their outstanding support of the 4-H program by presenting them with the Friend of 4-H Award. This year we decided to honor 2 businesses, and the businesses this year were Hill Petroleum and Master Petroleum. Fair looked very different this year for 4-H visually and financially. There are many costs associated with putting on a fair that are usually covered by the main events of fair and the fair sponsorships. 4-H has never had to worry about paying for porta potties, trash, fire extinguisher tests, radio ads, and much more. But due to the cancellation of all events at fair except for the 4-H shows this year, 4-H had to come up with $17,000 to cover all of these expenses. This was very daunting at first, but thanks to Dave Long, we were able to find 2 main sponsors to cover these costs. Master Petroleum and Hill Petroleum stepped up this year to be our headline sponsors and cover the majority of our fair costs. We are so grateful for their support of 4-H and our Routt County youth. Thank you, Hill Petroleum and Master Petroleum, for your continued support of 4-H. Next, we would like to present the Friends of Shooting Sport Award. This year's friend of shooting sports is Amanda Ott. As we navigated through our shooting sports season and our virtual state shoot, we had several ups and downs, and our amazing coaches rode out the bumps and made this a successful year. The state virtual shoot required each county to have a leader from out of your county to oversee the submitting of your state shoot scores. We were lucky to have a very amazing shooting sports leader that stepped up and helped us with completion weeking and with submitting our scores for the virtual state shoot. This was a huge undertaking. Amanda Ott, a Moffat County shooting sports leader, entered our scores into her Orion system and made sure all of our information was turned in for state virtual shoot. We are so thankful for her dedication to all 4-H youth. Thank you, Amanda Ott, for making the best better for us this 4-H year. I would also like to thank the Colorado Fair Bureau for providing a $1,000 grant that was awarded as premiums at the Routt County Fair. $100 was awarded to each of the following. For Champion Market Beef, Tessa Boko received $100, McKinley Long, Kimberly Gray, Peyton Baker, Kimberly Gray, Kayla Rossi, Casey Singer, Jason Hyde, and Justin Hyde, and then Haley Minnick. We will now begin the next section of our awards. We would like to remind all of the winners to send thank yous to your award sponsors. We'll begin with sheep. So this year's top 10 Routt County raised lamb carcasses, which were sponsored by the Willie Ranch, were raised by Alexis Freeman, Angelina Freeman, Rayleigh Klinke, Emily Romero, Kayla Rossi, Mackenzie Clark, Lauren Parks, Addison Whaley, Alexis Jones, and Taylor Klinke. Congratulations. Harold and Shirley Brenner set up the Brenner family class at the Routt County Fair to award youth involved in sheep breeding projects that raise their own market lambs. The lamb must be shown in a market class and the ewe lamb combination class. This year's award goes to Emmy Ramirez. Congratulations, Emmy. In memory of Howard and Maxine Elliott and sponsored by Joan and John Gibbs, Nagel Trunking, HESCI, Routt County Sheriff's Office, premium money is awarded to youth in the sheep breeding project. The 4-H members receiving these extra premiums are Kayla Rossi, Kimberly Gray, Emmy Ramirez, Emily Rossi, and Cecilia Gregory. Now we will move on to GOAT Awards. This year's Breed and Go premiums are sponsored by Pamela Graham, R Squared Show Goats, Morgan Graham, Steamboat Springs Ski Town Lions Club, Brad and Libby Christensen, American Carpet and Floor, Lauren Belvarus, Elaine Montgomery, Amber Gregory and family, HESCI, and Stella and Nora Crofts. Recipients receiving these premiums are Ashton Nagel, Addison Whaley, Casey Singer, Justin Hyde, Emily Howe, Allie Coles, Jason Hyde, Macy Smith, Cecilia Gregory, Grace George, and Cutter Gregory.
Oh, Macy.
Now we will move on to Beef Awards. Annually, Don and Eileen Lufton Endowment and the Routt County Cattlemen provide added money to the beef breeding classes. The 4-H members receiving these premiums are Cameron Dines, Lorraine Whaley, Peyton Baker, McKinley Long, Braden Genrich, Tessa Boko, Leah Allen, and Levi Allen. Congratulations.
Good job, McKinley.
This year's recipient of the Beef Producer Award, sponsored by Kyle Higgins, is Tessa Boko with a steer produced by Will Monteith. Congratulations, Tessa. Our Beef Production Awards winners, sponsored by High Tide Ranch, Flat Top 4-H Club, Don and Judy Sherrod, Kyle Higgins, R&R Land and Livestock, Nathaniel and Karina Spitzley, Colby Family, Taylor Graham, and Cloud9 Integrated Systems are Emmett Myring, Cabot Gregory, and Tessa Boko. Congratulations, guys. Now we're moving on into our horse awards. So the 4-H Horse Project incorporates a level of advancement programs which evaluate a member's knowledge through a written test, then the skills of the horse and rider combination through a riding test. There are 4 levels to achieve mastery in the horse program over a multitude of disciplines. Those members receiving plaques or additional plates for their plaques, sponsored by Alpine Blake and Mike and Jeanette Ario, are for the level 1 written and Western riding test passed, Angelina Vreeman, Annika Brown, Charlie Trout, Cutter Gregory, Harlow Kuntz, Peyton Estes, and for the level 1 English riding test passed are Annika Brown and Michaela Puckett. Moving on, for the level 1 ranch horse versatility riding tests, Leah Allen, Levi Allen, and Tim Bedell all passed. And then the level 2 written and Western riding passed, Leah Allen, Levi Allen, and Morgan Yeiser all passed this test. For the level 2 ranch horse versatility riding test, Leah Allen, Levi Allen, Tim Bedell, and Morgan Yeiser and Jessica Bedell all passed. Now we'll move on into shooting sports state recognition. I'm not sure why the photo isn't loading, but we'd like to recognize the junior state team, the senior state team, and national qualifiers. Carson Castor, Mia Cranwell, Micah Cranwell, Tristan Day, Logan Drogoses, Landon Gray, Tegan Harold, Tirza Harold, Sawyer Landers, Andrew Pickings, Oliver Quigley, Oliver Essel, Madison Taggart, Sawyer Viatanen, Lloyd Warren, Charlie Weedle, and Eric Yeiser all qualified. All were on the junior state team. And for the state team, senior state team, Chase Delmater, Leah Hadler, Dorian Hotchkiss, Jaden Kemry, Kyle Lancaster, Haley Minnick, Caleb Moore, Tommy Newborn, Dylan Taggart, Conley Valor, Maverick Viatanen, Cassidy Wall, and Olivia Warren and Liam Iaconello all qualified. And for the national qualifiers, Leah Hadler and Dorian Hotchkiss qualified. Okay, next we will recognize all the livestock judges that have competed this year. I was on the livestock judging team this year, and we only had 2 in-person practices, unfortunately, and no competitions, but it was all moved onto a virtual format, and we were still able to qualify for state and the all-state team. The outstanding junior this year, sponsored by High Tide Ranch, was Emily Rossi, and our coach is Rod Willie, and I have a few words for Emily that he told me to give you. So Emily was the only junior in Routt County to make the all-state this year. She has made tremendous improvements in her reasons and placings on the team. There is no doubt that her dedication to livestock judging will make her extremely competitive in Colorado this year. So congratulations, Emily. And moving on, the outstanding senior livestock judger, sponsored by Joe and Betsy Zimmerman, was Jess Steele. And Rod said that Jess has been a talented member and leader of Routt County livestock judging team. She finished her final year in Louisville, where she placed in the top 20, making her an All-American. She also has been one of the 3 livestock judging members in Routt County to win state. Her success in livestock judging hasn't ended yet either. She has already been very successful on the NJC livestock judging team. So congratulations, Jess. So part of the value of the 4-H program is learning to keep good, accurate records throughout the year. We award members who have excelled in record bookkeeping and produced great record books. So we will begin with the dog and llama section, dog, companion animals and llama section. The junior reserve champion, sponsored by Alpine Bank, is Alexa Vreeman, and the junior champion, sponsored by HESCI, is Angelina Vreeman. The intermediate reserve champion, sponsored by HESCI, is Allie Coles, and the intermediate dog and llama champion, sponsored by Barbara and Gerald Gilbert, is Ashton Nagel. The dog and llama senior reserve champion is Leona Thurston, which was sponsored by HESCI, and the senior champion, sponsored by HCSI as well, was Haley Smith. Now we'll move on to Junior 1 Enterprise. I'm sorry, my dog's barking. But the reserve champion is Jet Sinalis, sponsored by HESCI, and the Junior 1 Enterprise champion was Oakley Yeager. Moving on to Junior 2 Enterprise, sponsored by the Clinky brothers. The reserve champion is Taylor Clinky, and the Junior 2 Enterprise champion, sponsored by HESCI, is Addison Whaley. Moving on to Junior 3 Enterprise, the reserve champion, sponsored by Spike and Libby Myring, was Sydney Preston. And the Junior 3 Enterprise champion, sponsored by Steamboat Springs Ski Town Lions Club, was McKinley Long. In Junior Horse, the Junior Horse Reserve champion, sponsored by Sally and Dave Gregg, was Cutter Gregory. And the Junior Horse champion, sponsored by HESCI, was Kavik Gregory. Going on into intermediates, the Intermediate 1 Enterprise Reserve champion, sponsored by Joe and Betsy Zimmerman, was Tommy Weber, and the Enterprise 1 champion, sponsored by HESCI, was Dalton Hockaday. Okay, in Intermediate 2 Enterprise, the Reserve champion, sponsored by Lazy V Bar Ranch, was Tegan Harold. And the Intermediate 2 Enterprise champion, sponsored by Thrive Educational Consulting, was Allie Coles. In Intermediate 3 Enterprise, the reserve champion, sponsored by HESCI, was Jason Hyde. And the Intermediate 3 Enterprise champion, sponsored by Thrive Educational Consulting, was Emily Rossi. Moving on into Intermediate Horse, the reserve champion, sponsored by HESCI, was Cheyenne Costner, and the champion, sponsored by the Kleckler family, was Allie Coles. Now we'll go into seniors. In Senior 1 Enterprise, the reserve champion, sponsored by Dale and Beck Apple, was Cody Logan, and the Senior 1 Enterprise champion, sponsored by Craig Powersports, was Jaden Robson. The Senior 2 Enterprise Reserve champion, sponsored by HESCI, was Leah Allen, and the Senior 2 Enterprise champion, sponsored by Steamboat Springs Ski Town Lions Club, was Gracie Day. Moving on into Senior 3 Enterprise, the reserve champion, sponsored by HESCI, was Justin Hyde, and the champion, sponsored by HCSCI as well, was Kayla Rotzi. In Senior Horse, the reserve champion, sponsored by HESCI, was Leah Allen, and the champion, sponsored by Amber Gregory and family, was Bowden Tuminello. So now we will honor the top 5 record books overall. In 5th place is Jaden Robson, 4th McKinley Long, 3rd Jason Hyde, 2nd Emily Rossi, and 1st Kayla Rossi. Congratulations, guys. So we are very fortunate to have some great clubs that provide an outstanding service to the 4-H in our community. These awards are based on an outstanding club nomination, officer record book scores, end-of-year projects, community service, and overall involvement. The points have been tallied in this year's top 3 clubs are coming in 3rd, the Elk River Wranglers, 2nd place is the High Point 4-H Club, and congratulations to our 1st place winner, which was Handy Lads and Lassies 4-H Club. So officers within each 4-H club play an important role in their club's organization, and each year we recognize these outstanding club officers. The 2020 Outstanding Club Historian, which was sponsored by Ed and Kristen Corveo, was Tommy Rossi, Morgan Graham, and Barbara and Gerald Glipper. From the High Point 4-H Club was Emily McIntosh, Tim Bedell, Tierney McDowell, and Jessica Bedell. Congratulations. And then the Outstanding Club Treasurer this year, sponsored by BMJ Enterprises LLC, was from the High Point 4-H Club, and that was Elena Rossi. The 2020 Outstanding Club Secretary, sponsored by Barbara and Gerald Glipper, from the Handy Lads and Lassies, was Tirza Harold. Each year, we would also like to recognize outstanding members that go above and beyond within their projects, participation, and involvement within 4-H. Members in each age division are nominated and asked to complete a career summary and then are judged by an outside committee. So first we'll honor the outstanding junior members, and this was sponsored in memory of Kenny Corveo. This was Emily McIntosh and Jack George. Now we'll move on into the outstanding intermediate members. This was sponsored by the Olinger family and HESCI, and this was Emily Rossi and Tim Bedell. Congratulations to our intermediate members. And then finally, we'll honor our outstanding senior member, and this was sponsored by SS Ranch and then Jay and Sarah May, and this was Kayla Rossi. Congratulations, Kayla. We would also like to recognize leaders that go above and beyond. We are also thankful to your service in helping the youth of Routt County. For our outstanding project leader, sponsored by High Tide Ranch and Sherry Yeager, is Amber Elliott. Amber coordinated and coached horse practices throughout the summer for 6 to 10 youth. She regularly stayed late to give the participants a little extra training. In addition, Amber organized 5 guest clinicians, including barrel racing, showmanship, saddle fitting, and ranch horse versatility for the youth. She also helped with the horse level testing, including getting cattle for the ranch horse versatility testing and for fair. She also helped out at fair for all the horse shows. Amber is deserving of this leader award because she helped improve the 4-H horse program as a whole. So congratulations, Amber. Our outstanding club leader award, which is sponsored by KP Landscapes and Sherry Yeager, is Kristen Corveo. Kristen puts others first 100% of the time. She never fails to give Ranch House Club members the best advice and help no matter what. And she is always on top of everything such as deadlines, event planning. In addition to being our Ranch House Club leader, she is also the goat and sheep superintendent at fair and sits on one of the junior livestock sale committees and is always willing to help out at any 4-H event. Kristen is a selfless, kind-hearted individual who is deserving of this leader award. Congratulations. Okay, the Above and Beyond leader, which is sponsored by BMJ Electric and Sherry Yeager, is Medora Franklin. Medora Frolic has been going above and beyond for Routt County 4-H for 18 years now. Her passion for youth is apparent from the time she has committed to being a horse leader and the Good Times Club leader. Throughout the year, she coordinates leaders, parents, members, and volunteers and animals for events across the county. I have no doubt that Medora engages in a 4-H project or task on a daily basis. She has an energy and connection with youth that goes beyond the horse. Medora promotes an environment of trust and respect that builds relationships. She inspires youth not only in Hayden, but across Routt County in developing self-esteem, confidence, and a sense of commitment. Young members of our community have been more than fortunate to have a mentor, teacher, and friend in Medora. Thank you and congratulations. And finally, the Salute to Excellence Leader Award, which is sponsored by BMJ Electric and Sherry Yeager, is Raylene Olinger. Raylene has given her time to the 4-H program and youth of our county for close to 20 years now. From organizing events to organizing bugs, she is always pushing to make youth involved in the club to be the best they can be. She has a passion for 4-H and kids, and this is evident by her everyday traits and hours of dedication. Thank you, Raylene, for all you have done for the Handy Lads and Lassies, livestock judging, entomology, exhibit day, fair, and everything else you have helped with in 4-H. I would also just like to take a moment to thank all of Routt County's 4-H leaders. This year has been interesting to say the least. 4-H and our world experienced unprecedented changes, and our 4-H leaders kept doing what they do best. They adjusted to all online meetings, social distancing, and mask wearing. They helped make our fair a success with huge limitations. They kept putting our youth first by meeting their needs however they could. The commitment and perseverance of each and every one of you helped make 2020 a success. Our 4-H leaders are still making the best better in 2020, and we have a mug for each of you that says thanks for helping 4-H. So now as we're starting to wrap up the night, I would like to say a few words as this is my last night being president. I'll keep this short and sweet though, because I know sometimes the retiring addresses are long, but I know that when I'm sitting at home on my Zoom classes at the high school, I can get bored pretty quick. And I'd like to just start off by thanking all of the leaders and all my parents and all of my friends that have helped me so much throughout 4-H. Like, I don't know, 4-H it definitely has shaped me into the person I am today. So, this was not like my ideal 4-H year. But like when I became, so when I became president, I had a lot of aspirations and I had a lot of goals. When I was younger, I always used to look up to older members and see them just as like these awesome people. They were my biggest role models. And so when I ran for president initially, I wanted to like be one of the kids that super younger members looked up to. And that was one of my main goals, becoming president. But unfortunately, I believe I had one in-person meeting before COVID hit. So I wasn't able to bond with all the youth as much as I really wanted to. And that was one of my main goals. But I don't know, I'm always told every day that every cloud has a silver lining. And in this case, it really does. Because of COVID, even though it wasn't ideal, I was able to see like the resilience and the selflessness that everyone put forth to make fair work, especially. When I was sitting at home during the summer, I kept seeing all these county fairs get canceled, and I was really worried that this was going to be the same case in Routt County, but a lot of people stepped up, and I think this passion in 4-H was really my inspiration. So as I retire as president, I hope that all the members tonight can recognize the passion and determination that our 4-H leaders put out there to make this year possible. I think that you should really have passion in everything you do, and I hope the younger members have passion in your 4-H projects, have passion in your competition, and in all your trials of life. One of my favorite quotes goes, "You can do anything as long as you have the passion, the drive, and the focus and the support." And I feel like that just sums up 4-H really well. So thank you guys. It's been a really fun year being president. So now we get to swear in the new 4-H officer team. So Justin, I believe you're up first for your words of wisdom if you would like to unmute.
All right, perfect. So for the new alternate center, Dylan, I would say the biggest thing I've learned from this is you just gotta kind of be there for your senators. There's definitely some conferences this year that some of our senators weren't able to make it to, and it ended up playing a pretty big role as part of our senator team. With that and everything, it made a lot of pretty important decisions for the district and everything at state conferences. And just kind of being there for your team, even though it says alternate senator, you're kind of there as an alternate for everything if you need to fill in any place. So just kind of always be open to new ideas and be there to help everyone out. That's about it.
Awesome. Thank you, Justin. Also, just because we had to move Achievement Night onto a virtual platform this year, some of our officers don't have the best internet connection. So I will be reading some of the words of wisdom. So this words of wisdom is our past senator, which was Leona Thurston, to Morgan Yeiser, which is our new one. Leona says, "Congratulations on your new position, Morgan. It is crazy to see the next generation of 4-Hers running the show now, but I know you are going to do amazing. During the next few years on council, you are going to create so many fun memories and so many amazing friends. Remember to not take things too seriously and to love every minute of your experience, because it will be over before you know it. I'm so excited to see what you do with the rest of your 4-H career. You're off to a great start." So congratulations, Morgan. Moving on, Kai Lancaster is our new reporter, and our past reporter was Sophie Deal, and I will be reading hers. So Sophie says, "Leaving my position on this council is a somber thing. However, I've no doubt you will succeed in my place. I'm so excited for you in your up and coming position. The council is a fun group of people that are very accepting. There will never be a shortage of laughs and smiles. Enjoy these next couple of years and never be afraid to ask questions if you need help. Good luck." Next, congratulations, Kai. Moving on, our new treasurer is Olivia Rossi, but our past treasurer was JC, and I'll be reading hers as well. So JC says, Olivia, if I were to give you any words of wisdom for holding the treasurer position on council, it would be to do your best you can with reading the bank statements. Things can get really confusing, but there are many people around you that are willing to help. Don't be afraid to ask for it. Congratulations, Olivia. Okay, our secretary for this coming year is Emmett Myring, and I'll invite Kayla to unmute to read her words of wisdom.
All right. Emmett, as the new Routt County 4-H secretary, you'll need to keep accurate records of each meeting, and you'll need to correspond these with the officer team and extension staff. At times, you may find this task very difficult, but as quoted by Winston Churchill, never, 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 never give up.
Thank you, Kayla, and congratulations, Emmett. Okay, our new vice president is Justin Hyde, and Jess Steele was our past one, and Jess says to Justin, I could not be happier to be ending my 4-H career knowing someone as spectacular as you is taking my place on county council. You won't have any problem making everyone feel welcome and appreciated during each meeting, and you're going to come up with some killer games to break the ice. Just remember to always have fun and never take yourself too seriously, which I know won't be a problem for you. I wish you the best of luck as the new vice president, and I'm stoked to see you grow even more over the next year. So congratulations, Justin. Okay, and our new president is Kayla Rossi. So Kayla, I am so excited that you're president, and I know you're going to flourish on council. I have no doubt in this because in your success, because let's be honest, during the council meetings, you were helping me with my parliamentary procedure this entire year. I know that you're going to be starting off this year, maybe not on the best state, and probably your first meeting is unfortunately going to have to be online. So I can offer you this advice since my entire year was online. You should be diligent and adaptable in everything you do because you never know how things are going to change. And along that, I wouldn't take any time you have to bond with 4-H members for granted. Also, just don't be afraid to ask any questions either. I'm always here, and congratulations. Okay, well, thank you everyone so much for a great year, and thank you all for jumping online tonight. I know it's not the most ideal thing, and I know it'd be so much better if we all got to see each other in person, but thank you.
Thank you, Dylan. That was awesome.
And this is Tammy. I'm just jumping on to remind everybody they need to sign up for a pickup time next week to pick up their awards so that we can only bring one family in at a time. And that was in the email I sent out today, the link to do that. So if you guys have any questions on award pickup, let me know. Have a great night. Thank you. Great job, Dylan.
Thank you. Congratulations for making it through the year.
Nice job, Dylan. Go, everybody.
Thank you, y'all.
Thank you so much.
And Libby just put in the chat where you guys can sign up for a pickup time too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna log off.
Okay, thank you, Dylan. Hi, Hagen Booze.
It was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Tammy.
Oh, Libby.
Good job, Libby.
Thank Libby.
Thank you, guys. We were really hoping to see goodbye, congratulations to Kayla and all of them, but we kind of missed the chance.
All righty. Good night.
Hey, you guys have a great night.
Bye.
Get out of there.
Yeah.